Level F, canon fodder teams. Let's be brutally honest here. Level F is where reality smacks the wannabe ninjas right in the face. These are the squads that got wiped out instantly, some of them literally before they even understood what the Chunin exams were about. We're talking about teams like Sukima's crew, Komaza's little gang, and a bunch of other names that everyone forgets 5 minutes later, like Team Suiu, Team Samidare, Jimei's team, Komugi, Hōsei, and even Nejiri. Honestly, most of these guys either flopped because their cheating plan totally backfired, or they straight up quit when faced with Ibiki's final mind game. Weak skills, weaker mental game. Like, come on, this is ninja life we're talking about. You could literally die out here. If you're folding just cause the exam gets spooky, then sorry, but you're clearly not Chunin material yet. You've got a long, painful training arc ahead. Look at Naruto, for example. Sure, the dude didn't cheat, but let's be real, that's mostly because he couldn't cheat. Our guy had no tricks, no strategies, no clue. But what he did have was that unshakable, loud-as-hell determination, and honestly, it was kinda impressive. Now here's the thing, these level F squads do serve a purpose. Their only job is to make every other team look more impressive. But the beauty of level F, they're the necessary losers. The Chunin exams aren't some school talent show where everyone gets a participation prize. They're literally designed to weed out the weak, and these teams are living proof the system works. They show you just how harsh, how intense, and sometimes how straight up dangerous this exam can really be. Now, if you've made it this far, welcome to the amazing world of anime. This is the place for true fans like you, where we celebrate all the magic, action, and emotions anime brings to our lives. You've watched, you've felt the hype, you've been lost in these beautiful fantasy worlds, but, have you hit that subscribe button yet? Right now, almost 90% of you are watching without subscribing. Just imagine, if everyone hits sub, we could build one of the strongest anime communities out there. So, go ahead, click that subscribe button right now so you won't miss any new episodes, deep dive breakdowns, or awesome anime content coming your way. Thank you so much. Now next on the list, just a little bit higher, is Level E, the inexperienced teams. Now we're stepping up to Level E, the teams that look like they might know what they're doing, until the Forest of Death comes in and completely wrecks that illusion. These are squads like Team Shigeri and Team Shibire, the ones who passed the written exam thanks to dumb luck or outside help, only to get utterly demolished the moment they hit real combat. So what separates Level E from Level F? Well, to be fair, these teams at least have some basic skills. They made it past the first round, right? If we're being generous, Team Shigeri has Karen, whose healing ability is actually kind of valuable in the ninja world. And Team Shibire, at least they managed to team up with Neji to pass the written test, and they even got creative with the whole submit a blank paper trick. Sounds clever on paper, yeah? But the second real pressure hit, they collapsed faster than a soggy rice cracker. Their biggest weakness is absolutely no real combat experience. Karen's healing might be impressive, like genuinely life-saving, but her team had zero sense of teamwork. Instead of covering her or protecting their healer like any decent squad should, they straight up scattered and left her behind. When you've got someone like Karen on your team, you're supposed to guard her like your life depends on it. But nah, the way they work together as a team here, it's really hard to say anything good about it. And Team Shibire was somehow even worse. These guys cracked under pressure, opened their scroll early just because they were scared, and violated the exam rules out of sheer panic. It's like a student getting stressed, seeing a hard question, and just handing in a blank sheet without trying. That's not just a mistake, that's a mental red flag. They completely lacked the grit to stay calm and make solid decisions when things got tense. To be fair, yeah, even Naruto's team almost messed up. Naruto himself nearly opened the scroll. But the difference? He didn't actually do it. Well, thanks to Kabuto. This right here is exactly why a little bit of skill and a sprinkle of luck just aren't enough in the ninja world. You might be book smart, have a basic foundation, maybe even know a few flashy techniques. But when it comes to real life or death situations, what actually matters is experience, composure, and team coordination. And this level, they're missing all of that. These teams are basically like rookie fighters. Sure, they know how to punch and kick, maybe land a clean combo in practice, but they've never stepped into a real ring against an actual opponent. And worse, they don't know how to rely on each other. No backup plans, no adaptability, no clue what to do when everything goes sideways. When the pressure hits, it's your instincts and your experience that kick in, and that's when the real difference shows. So yeah, a bit of potential just isn't enough. You need mental readiness, battle-tested experience, the ability to stay calm under pressure, and the skill to move as a unit. Climbing up to Chunin rank isn't easy for a reason, because once you're a Chunin, you're expected to take on serious, dangerous missions. And if you can't handle the heat now, you're definitely not ready for what's coming next. Level D, the try-hard teams. Ah yes, now we've got the ninja squads who actually deserve some credit in the Chunin exams. These are the fighters who showed solid teamwork, real ninja skills, legit strategies, and even a bit of hands-on combat experience. But when they came up against stronger opponents in the prelims, they were usually brutally outmatched. No matter how hard they tried, their limits were still painfully obvious. Team Oboro is the poster child for this level. This squad had some pretty unique genjutsu and clone techniques, with members like Oboro, Kagari, and Mubi, using moves like Sly Mind Effect technique and Miss Servant technique. And let's be real, not many genin at this stage are out here tossing around illusions like that. It's honestly impressive. What's even cooler is that they showed basic coordination and actually tried to wear down their enemies through deception and patience. That's a classic ninja move, fighting smart, not just hitting harder. It reflects the old school ninja philosophy. Use your brain, not brute force. But then, yeah, Naruto hit them with a Keige Bunshin beatdown, and they got folded immediately. All that effort, gone in a flash. Now to be fair, Team Oboro did show some creativity. Their tricks weren't bad. Their survival instincts and adaptability were decent enough. They pulled off a decent spy maneuver by surrounding Team 7 with genjutsu and cleverly using clones to distract and confuse. They lasted long enough to at least face off against a strong team. So yeah, respect where it's due. They weren't cannon fodder, and they weren't clueless. But at the end of the day, effort alone didn't cut it. They were almost there, but almost doesn't win a Chunin rank. That said, they totally lacked the ability to adapt once their strategy got busted. Oboro might have been the brains of the operation, but honestly, Kagari and Mubi's individual roles were never really clear. It felt like a one-man show, and when that plan fell apart, they didn't know what to do next. We've also got to mention Team Shigeru from the hidden Rain Village. And you know what? Rain ninjas are usually tough, gritty, and yeah, pretty cool looking too. They come from a village soaked in pain and wrapped. Level C, the solid mid-tier teams. Stepping into Level C, we meet the ninja squads that totally earned their spot in the one-on-one prelims. These are the teams with solid combat abilities, clear strategies, and a noticeably stronger sense of teamwork. Team 8 and Team 10 are basically the poster teams for this level. Team 8 brings the heat with Kiba Inuzuka and his instinct-based fighting alongside Akamaru, Shino Aburame with his creepy and deadly Kikaichu swarm, and of course Hinata Hyuga, wielding the Byakugan and her signature gentle fist. Then you've got Team 10 serving up the classic combo, Shikamaru Nara with his shadow possession jutsu, Ino Yamanaka with her mind transfer jutsu, and Choji Akimichi busting out the expansion jutsu. On an individual level, both teams have some very impressive skill sets, and when it comes to group combat, they actually work together pretty well. Team 8 especially shines in tracking and recon missions, honestly. They were the best tracking team among all the genin. Their ability to locate, follow, and anticipate enemy movement is genuinely top tier. Meanwhile, Team 10 holds down the fort with the legendary Inoshikacho formation, passed down through generations. And to be fair, each of them has some seriously strong abilities. Like, don't sleep on their potential just because they're funny. That said, it's not hard to see that not everyone in these teams handles pressure equally well. Shino is downright terrifying. The dude could have taken out Zaku before their match even started. He's smart, calculated, and honestly pretty well-rounded. But then there's Hinata, who's still way too shy, emotionally fragile, and not nearly confident enough in real battle. Her combat ability just doesn't hit that same level yet. And Kiba, way too hot-headed. His moves rely almost entirely on brute force and rushing straight in, which makes him flashy, but also predictable. We also gotta highlight Shikamaru's genius-level brain. Sure, his raw power is pretty weak, but he stays totally calm even against stronger opponents, and comes up with brilliant next-level strategies. The guy's literally built for big brain plays. But when it comes to Ino and Choji, they're fine. Ino's role is strictly support, and Choji is your classic tank, all bulk, not much finesse. The moment this trio gets split up, their overall strength drops significantly. So yeah, the power and intelligence of these teams are often concentrated in just one or two standout members. The team's overall strength, kinda average. I mean, even Shikamaru himself casually admitted their team was probably the weakest in the entire Forest of Death. That said, they clearly had basic field experience from village missions, just enough to survive the forest and make it to the prelims. Their understanding of ninjutsu and tactics is honestly pretty decent, especially for Shikamaru and Shino. Each of them has specialized, dangerous skills, no doubt. But solo, their abilities don't always hit full potential. Level C represents those teams with a strong foundation and a solid, respectable showing. Shikamaru and Shino, in particular, were genuine standouts of their generation. And let's not forget, Shikamaru literally became the 8th Hokage later on. But at that point in time, their teams still lacked balance. The uneven skill levels and lack of real-world experience held them back, leaving them comfortably stuck in that solid but not great mid-high tier. Level B, the strong and influential teams. Now we're stepping into Level B, where the ninja teams start to genuinely stand out from the rest of the crowd. These are the squads with unique abilities, tight coordination, and powerful performances that leave a serious mark on the Chunin Exams. They might not have flipped the whole game upside down, but they definitely shifted the narrative and made other characters, and us, pay attention. Naturally, we've got to talk about Team Guy. They brought the heat with a high-octane combo. Rock Lee, the taijutsu prodigy, who literally flexed his hand-to-hand skills in front of Sasuke, even when Sharingan was on the table, by the way. Neji Hyuga, the Hyuga genius, rocking the Byakugan and the near-impenetrable rotation, Kaiten. Honestly, during the OG Databayo days, I dare you to find a single shot of Neji where he wasn't looking up at the sky like some untouchable prodigy. And he didn't just talk the talk either. Neji was one of the first of his generation to hit Junin rank, way ahead of the curve. Then we've got Tenten, holding it down with her weapon mastery and ridiculously precise aim. She may not have had the most screen time, but make no mistake, she knew how to throw down with a full arsenal and never miss her mark. They wanted close combat? This team got it. Want to fight in the air? No problem. Need scouting? Handled. Even though each member has their own unique fighting style, this is hands down the strongest taijutsu team in the entire Chunin Exams. And mentally, these guys are solid as a rock. They were easily one of the most confident teams walking into the exams, no doubt about it. But hey, we've also got to talk about Team 7. Don't sleep on these guys. Each member brought something seriously impressive to the table. Sasuke Uchiha, a certified genius from the Uchiha clan. He adapted incredibly fast in the Forest of Death, and later he figured out Yoroi's weakness like a total pro. He copied Lee's taijutsu after seeing it just once. And then there's Chidori, an A-rank jutsu, which he learned in record time. I know some people are like, okay, but where's the proof of this genius label? Famous for being a genius, but barely show anything to back it up. Well, here's a stat drop for you. Chidori and Rasengan are both A-rank techniques, meant to rival each other. Naruto took nearly a whole month to learn Rasengan, but Sasuke? He learned Chidori crazy fast. He's also great at taijutsu and weapon techniques. Sure, he's not on Team Guy's level in raw hand-to-hand, but Uchiha taijutsu is naturally better than average, thanks to Sharingan. And don't forget, while other genin were still figuring out the basics, Sasuke was already throwing out fireball jutsu like a mini Madara. Naruto Uzumaki. Yeah, he was a bit emotional and kinda silly sometimes, but let's not ignore the facts. He's a Jinchuriki and a member of the Uzumaki clan, so his stamina is on another level. And Naruto had some surprisingly clever moments, flashy counters, unpredictable moves, and that summoning jutsu with the toads? Absolutely wild. He even went toe-to-toe with another Jinchuriki at one point. But his biggest strength? He wasn't afraid of anything. That fearlessness alone made him a wild card in every fight. As for Sakura, yeah, she was definitely the weakest on the team back then. Her raw strength was way below average, no mountain-splitting punches just yet. And her actual combat experience? Pretty lacking. But she was also incredibly smart, with natural talent in chakra control. That gave her an edge in genjutsu detection, which isn't something you just pick up easily. Plus, Team 7 had something special. They covered for each other, always picking up the slack and complementing one another's strengths. That synergy made them way more dangerous as a team, and honestly, with how much potential they had, there's no way we can rank them any lower. Level A, the Game Changers. Now we're talking about the teams that could literally flip the entire Chunin exam on its head. Level A is about being absolutely overwhelming. These are the squads that didn't just beat the system, they broke it. When they showed up, every other team's goal instantly shifted from "let's pass this test" to "let's survive this madness." The perfect example, the three Sand siblings, Gaara, Kankuro, and Temari. Gaara alone could have dominated the entire exam with that terrifying sand control of his. His sand armor auto-defends like an impenetrable wall, while his offensive sand techniques turn him into a non-stop killing machine. And he's a one-tailed Jinchuriki, sure, but he didn't even need that power. He could have walked out of the Forest of Death like it was a Sunday stroll. Their squad actually finished the test faster than anyone else. Temari brought absolute destruction from long range with her giant fan. She's totally unmatched in aerial or ranged combat. And then there's Kankuro with his creepy clever puppets. Attacking, defending, disguising, they do it all. Together, they were a fully optimized battle unit. Remember Team Shiger? They seemed strong until Gaara wiped them out like they were nothing. Didn't even break a sweat. That's the kind of level difference we're dealing with here. And you saw their solo performances too. Gaara still beat Rock Lee even after Lee opened the fifth gate. Kankuro and Temari both had ridiculously easy wins. No struggle, just pure domination. What made them truly terrifying wasn't just raw power, it was how cold and calculated they were. They didn't join the Chunin exams to prove anything. Nah, they came in with a much bigger plan. The whole Konoha Crush operation was meticulously prepared, and the exam itself was just the perfect cover. Every move they made served a double purpose: pass the test and gather intel. And at the center of it all? Gaara. He wasn't just strong, he was the embodiment of every genin's worst nightmare. That emotionless brutality, combined with his insane power, created an opponent so dangerous, even veteran shinobi had to tread carefully. Kankuro and Temari completely understood this, and built their entire squad strategy around maximizing Gaara's destructive potential. Level A isn't just about being powerful. They dominate every single aspect of the competition. Survival, combat, strategy, psychological warfare. The Sand siblings absolutely crushed it all. They didn't treat the Chunin exam like a skills test. They turned it into a full-blown display of overwhelming superiority. And that's exactly why they belong at the very top. And let's not forget what happened next. This very same squad, Gaara became a Keiga at just 15 years old. The other two, Kankuro and Tamari, rose to elite Junin status crazy fast, outpacing most of their generation. Level S, the Puppet Masters. This is the absolute peak of danger, Level S. I'm talking about Orochimaru's team. Yeah, Orochimaru secretly joined the Chunin exam as one of the candidates. Of course, this team didn't enter the Chunin exams to become Chunin. They came to blow everything up from the inside. While other squads were fighting for rank and recognition, these guys were orchestrating a whole different game, one where the stakes weren't just careers, but the survival of an entire village. Orochimaru, along with two of his loyal followers, infiltrated the exam and left Naruto and Sasuke each with a special little gift. Under his command were Team Dosu, Team Kabuto, and Team Shiore, three squads that acted like chess pieces in Orochimaru's master plan. Their power? Well, Orochimaru was the only strong one here, a Kage-level ninja. And their purpose? Absolutely crucial. These teams weren't meant to win. They were tools for Orochimaru to turn the Chunin exams into the perfect stage for his invasion of Konoha. Orochimaru turned the Chunin exams into a perfect cover operation. While Konoha was focused on testing their young ninjas, the real threats had already infiltrated from the inside out. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.